Will autonomous vehicles, is GPS what tells autonomous vehicles where they are and who they're passing and where they are on the road? Is that a GPS function?
Yes.
So a minor perturbance in GPS could have catastrophic consequences for an autonomous vehicle, is that correct?
As autonomous vehicles are developed, yes. They would want to be completely certain that GPS was not being interfered with.
It wouldn't take much interference to go from one lane to the other at a bad moment.
It does not.
Additional question about the testing. The testing showed actual interference. In other words, this isn't the precautionary principle at work. It's not, we're worried about interference. We found interference. Is that correct?
The Department of Transportation testing to which I referred examined the level of power that would actually cause receivers to lose lock. So yes, sir, that is interference. It's not hypothetical, it's not propositional, they actually lost lock.
And they lost lock at 9.8 dBW?
Or no, much lower levels.
Okay.
The only receivers tested which did not lose lock were those that go in cell phones. For a couple of reasons which are interesting to note. First of all, the cell phone transmitter frequencies that are, the cell phones themselves are located in different bands. Right. But the filters in cell phone receivers are very narrow banded for what they want to do. So it's a special design that does not exist in most of the rest of the installed base. You've asked a very good question there. The certified aviation receivers that one buys, when I was talking earlier, the $10,000 receiver that you buy for your certified airplane, those were just barely capable of dealing with the 10 watts. Below, for all the other classes of receivers, the common garden variety receivers that were being discussed a moment ago and that are in your automobile, those die at factors of 100 or more below the 10-watt level.
But didn't as I read the order, didn't the receiver manufacturers end up expressing that they were all right with this decision? Didn't Legato effectively make concessions that they ended up getting a sign-off from those companies?
Legato says that they got that sign-off, but when you talk to the companies are on the list of those that Dana Deasy was just providing that have objected to this order. So none of us, of course, have been in the deliberations between these various companies and Legato, but I think it says something when they have together and separately objected to this decision.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I don't, I suspect because this is an adjudication and not a rulemaking, that the Congressional Review Act would not apply, but somebody, I don't know the answer to that.
I've heard suggestions that it might and it might not, and I don't have an answer to that.
Yeah, okay, and you have, I assume somebody has appealed, has requested reconsideration before the commission, is that true?
Yes, that is what we're currently discussing with the NTIA. They are the ones that would have to issue the appeal, and there is a date that has to occur by, and that is the current conversation we're in with them, is that process and what is it that they will need to put that appeal into effect.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.